Good evening, everyone. Today is our Thursday Zoom class. It is 4:02 p.m. We're going to go ahead and get started. I always would like to start with our announcements. Remember that Monday is the last day in this module, module 151. It should have been on Friday, but since we were off in observation of Memorial Day, we had to extend one day. So Monday is the last day in module 151. We will be moving on Tuesday to module 152. So please mark your calendars and know that Monday is the last day. And also remember to complete all of your assignments and labs. I have a lot of people. I had the labs open. I stated I was going to have them open until Monday, but if you needed additional assignments, reopen, to contact me. I am not just going to go and reopen assignments. That takes a lot of work. Remember, this is not my only class. So please, if you need assignments reopened, you have to reach out to me to reopen the assignments. You have to put some effort in it on your own to reach out, send an email, a text, and just informing me that you need assignments reopened. I am not a mind reader. And like I said, at one time I was reopening everybody's assignments and nothing was being placed in. So I am no longer just reopening assignments because you missed it and then you don't even go back and look. So please make sure that if you need assignments reopened, please contact me. I will reopen them. I will not reopen assignments on the day before an assignment before the module ends. The last day of the module is Monday. We will start module 152 on Tuesday. So please remember to log into the correct module. I had a lot of people on last module, and when we were leaving one module to the next, people kept emailing saying they couldn't find their assignments, they couldn't get in. Please read your announcements, read your information. We will be moving to module 152 on Tuesday, but you have to log into module 152 to get your assignments. Also, I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to explain or express this. Please do not text me on the weekends and on holidays. I'm getting text messages 10 and 11 o'clock at night, which is inappropriate, and which on the holidays and on weekends. Please, if you cannot contact me by 8 p.m., then it's not that important. And if it's an emergency, feel free. But as I stated, which informs me that people are not reading their emails, they're not looking at their assignments, they're not going back and looking at their Zoom class either, because I'm saying this over and over in the Zoom class about contacting me after hours. I am extending until 8 p.m. So you can call me up until 8 p.m. I don't have a problem with that. But texting me 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock at night, and then texting me 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning is inappropriate. Remember, treat this career and this path as it's your job. You would not be contacting your boss at 11 or 12 o'clock at night or at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So please provide me with that same courtesy. Asking to reopen an assignment or asking what assignment I missed at 11 o'clock at night is inappropriate, and it's not an emergency on the weekends or on a holiday. I'm getting questions about assignments and reopening assignments and asking me what lab we're in, what module we're in. We're at the end of the module. Our last day in this module is Monday. So if you haven't realized all this time, then you're really, really behind, and that shows that you're not paying attention to the information that I am providing. And this is your career. And this is a very lucrative career that is very helpful. So you have to get the information. You have to watch your Zoom classes. You have to look at the things that are being posted in news and announcements. You have to read everything in your grade section of e-learning, which states in e-learning your PowerPoint slides and all of that information as well. So please provide me that courtesy. I try to contact some of you later in the evening because I know that you all work. So I still want you to get the information. But moving forward, because in module 152, we're going to be strictly coding from now on. So if you have missed out and if your computer is not up to date, you cannot code from your phone. You will have inaccurate answers. So this is the time to try to get your computer up to date, get any configurations that you might need. If you know that you're having difficulty with your computer, please try to get those corrections made before we go into the next module, because the next module and moving forward and moving on is going to be strictly coding. So please try to take care of those things as soon as possible. So we had a question that was on your daily assignment. Quite a few people got that question wrong, as far as if Medicare Part B would be covering for a cardiology visit and what would be the cost from the patient. Who can give me that answer? Because quite a few people had that wrong. So that means that you're not reading, because the information for that was directly above that question. So does anybody know the answer to that? Just straight up, you can remember the question. Will Part B cover a cardiologist visit? And what would be the cost that the patient would have to receive if it does cover?
I think it does cover specialist visits, and you got the patient's responsible for 20%.
Correct. That is very good, Ashley. Yes. And if you went over Medicare Part A, B, and C, and D that we went over, you would know that Medicare does cover specialist visits, Part B, and the amount that that person would pay is 20%. I had some people say 80%, 30%, 60%. The answer to that is 20%. And Part B does cover specialist visits. So please, if you didn't get that answer correct, go back and reread that information, because in medical billing and coding, you're going to have to know what's covered. What's covered under Part A? What's covered under Part B? What's covered under Part C? What's covered under Part D? Because when you're submitting those claims, you're going to have to know what was covered and what's not covered. What insurance coverage do they have? If they have insurance coverage for Part C or Part B, everybody does not. Do they have Part D drug coverage? So this is very important, and you will definitely need this for medical billing and coding. So the exam, your final exam, is going to be on Monday. Remember, when we're at the end of the module, you do not get that extension. You do not get the extension because we have to have those grades turned in as soon as possible. So I will open the final exam on tomorrow. You will have to have it complete by Monday. So I'm saying this again, so, if you all have friends that's in the course or whatever, if you can, remind them as well. The final exam is on Monday, but I will open it on tomorrow, on Friday. So you will have 4 days to complete this exam. So if you're not able to get to it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, then you'll have Monday. But remember, once you start the exam, you have to complete it on that date. You will not be able to go back and work on the exam. So once you start it, if you started on Friday, remember that you will have to complete it on Friday. But I am giving those 4 days for you to have it done. We will start module 152 on Tuesday. So do we have any questions so far as for the information that you all have been covering? I'm going to go over, we're going to do a review. I'm going to give you some questions that will be on your exam. Remember, this is the final, so it is 50 questions. 50 questions from everything that you have read and everything that we have gone over in our Zoom class. So your exam is 50 questions and from everything that's covered. So for all the chapters that we have, you might have 1 or 2 questions from that, because majority of your questions are going to come from the ending chapters that we didn't cover. So what we're going to go over now, which you should have been reading, remember, I keep telling you, Read your chapters, your daily assignments, read that information. This is going to help you when it comes time to getting a job prior to you graduating, if you know if you have this experience. So I'm going to go over some questions. These questions will be on your exam. Remember, you will have true and false. So remember, this will be on your exam. So the first question, you do not have to write this information down. This is being recorded, so you will be able to go back and review it and look at it. So number one is, which of the following steps in medical billing should be performed prior to rendering medical services? Which of the following steps for medical billing should be performed prior to rendering medical services? A, verify the patient's eligibility for insurance coverage. B, collect patient insurance information. C, code the diagnosis and procedures. D, complete the CMS 1500 health information claim form. Or D, verify the patient's eligibility for insurance coverage and collect patient insurance information. Which one? A, B, C, D, or E?
Collect insurance information.
That's correct. E, verify the patient's eligibility for insurance coverage and collect her patient's information, insurance information. That is the step, the first thing you should always do. Number two, a blank claim has been completed accurately and completely. A blank claim has been completed accurately and completely. A, clean. B, dirty. C, dingy. Or D, incomplete. I'll read it again. A blank claim has been completed accurately and completely. So we did go over this when we were doing NCCT prep, when we were practically actually doing coding. We had this question on there as well for insurance claims. So a blank claim has been completed accurately and completely. A, clean. B, dirty. C, dingy. Or D, incomplete.
I'm gonna go with A.
A is correct. Clean. A clean claim has been completed accurately and completely. So you'll get a clean claim. It'll come back to you as a clean claim if everything is completed accurately and completely.
Because the other three just didn't seem like they fit.
You know they're gonna throw all those in there. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's true. That's how you rule out. That's how you rule it out. Next, the first step in filing a claim with a third party is A, verify all charges and fees. B, proofread the claim information. C, complete the pre-certification process. Or D, obtain accurate billing information from the patient. I'm gonna read it again. The first step in filing a claim with a third party is A, verify all charges and fees. B, proofread the claim information. C, complete the pre-certification process. Or D, obtain accurate billing information from the patient.
I'm gonna say D.
D is correct. Obtain accurate billing information from the patient. That is correct. Next. Which of the following steps is needed to obtain pre-certification? This information that I'm reading here is not, believe me, is not just for medical assistants. This is more for you all, billing and coders. That front office person is going to check that information, but you are the ones that are responsible for this information that we're reviewing right now, the medical biller encoder. So make sure that you read through this chapter. This is chapter 18 in your textbook. So make sure that you read all of this information in chapter 18, because you will definitely be doing this as a medical biller encoder. This is chapter 18. Which of the following steps is needed to obtain pre-certification? A, call provider services phone number on the back of the patient's health insurance ID card. B, provide the insurance company with procedure services requested and the diagnosis. C, document the outcome of the call in the patient's health record. Or D, all are correct. I'm gonna read it again. Which of the following steps is needed to obtain pre-certification? A, call provider services phone number on the back of the patient's health insurance ID card. B, provide the insurance company with procedure services requested as the diagnosis. C, document the outcome of the call in the patient's health record. Or D, all are correct.
All are correct.
Correct. D, all are correct.
I was leaning towards that one or B.
Okay, yeah, but everything, because remember, you have to call the provider services phone number on the back of the patient's health insurance ID card first, anytime for pre-certifications.
Okay, gotcha.
You always have to do that first.
Okay.
So next, which of the following methods can be used to determine a patient's eligibility for insurance? Which of the following methods can be used to determine a patient's eligibility for insurance? A, calling the provider services number on the back of the health insurance ID. B, using the provider web portal sponsored by the patient's health insurance company. C, calling the provider services number on the back of the health insurance ID and using the provider web portal sponsored by the patient's health insurance company. Or D, none are correct. I'm gonna read it one more time. Which of the following methods can be used to determine a patient's eligibility for insurance? Now, this is to determine the patient's eligibility for insurance. A, calling the provider services number on the back of the health insurance ID. B, using the provider web portal sponsored by the patient's health insurance company. C, calling the provider services number on the back of the health insurance ID and using the provider web portal sponsored by the patient health insurance company. Or D, none are correct. That's a tricky one.
C.
C is correct.
I was just about to say that.
Services number on the back of the health insurance ID and using the provider web portal sponsored by the patient's health insurance company. That's correct. Next. A set dollar amount that the policyholder must pay before the insurance company starts to pay for services is the definition of A, co-payment, B, deductible, C, co-insurance, or D, adjudicate.
A.
Deductible.
A. What is it?
Deductible. I don't remember which letter.
Yes, deductible. It says a set dollar amount that the policyholder must pay before the insurance company starts to pay for services is the definition of deductible. Your deductible.
Oh.
Next.
Oops.
A set dollar amount that the patient must pay for each office visit is the definition of A, co-payment, B, deductible, C, co-insurance, or D, adjudicate.
That's A.
Yes. That is A, co-payment. Next.
I got confused for a minute.
It's okay. Next, to settle or determine judicially is the definition of A, co-payment, B, deductible, C, co-insurance, or D, adjudicate. I'm trying to see what you're saying, Triandre.
I'm doing sign language because the baby is making a lot of noise. That was D.
D, correct.
Yes, ma'am.
D is adjudicate. That is correct. Next one. After the deductible has been met, the policyholder is responsible for a certain percentage of the bill is the definition of A, co-payment, B, deductible, C, co-insurance, or D, adjudicate.
C.
Yes. Triandre, you on the roll with that sign language, huh?
But I have to teach it to my 9-year-old. She learning
Okay.
stuff like that, so I learn right along with her.
Oh.
Great, good job. The answer is C.
I wish my baby was 9 months old again. He ain't. He's 13 in September.
Woo.
No, she's 9 years old. We've been doing sign language since she was 2. I've been teaching her alphabets
Oh.
and on days of the week in sign language since she was 2.
That's great.
Mine will be 13 in September, and I threaten to give him up for adoption some days.
We all do when we get to that point. Next, electronic data interchange is, I'm gonna read it again. Electronic data interchange is A, transferring data back and forth between 2 or more entities. B, sending information to one insurance carrier. C, sending information to one clearinghouse for processing. Or D, none are correct.
I'm gonna go with A.
A is correct. Electronic data interchange is A, transferring data back and forth between 2 or more entities. That is correct. Next. The insured's name is found in block, when you're doing that CMS 1500, the insured's name is found in block A1, B2, C3, or D4.
D.
I couldn't hear you.
D.
D is correct. The insured's name is found in block 4 on the CMS 1500 form.
Because I want to say 1's your name, 2's your address, 3. I don't remember.
Next. This is a good one. How many diagnoses can be reported on the CMS 1500? Is it A4, B8, C12, or D16?
12.
12. Hi, Tatiana. Yes, 12 is correct.
Oh, I didn't know you could hear me.
Yes. So who were you blurting out to?
Well, I'm still at work, so I'm just kind of listening.
Child, I'm at work too.
Thank you for the answer. That was correct. Next, the physician's office place of service code is A9, B10, C11, or D12. The physician's office place of service code is, all of this is on a CMS 1500. A9, B10, C11, or D12.
I'm gonna go with C.
C11 is correct.
No, I haven't seen that so many times on the sim chart.
Yes, yes. And see how everything relates back
Yes,
to each
ma'am.
other? Everything goes back. So even though we're skipping through chapters, it still goes back to information that we have covered, because all of this information too was in the Sims chart.
Yeah. How many times have I seen that?
Yeah.
Sim chart 11, 11, 11, 11. I'm like,
And then it's good to also review your CMS 1500 form, because you're going to definitely have that in your profession. The
Yeah.
physician's signature is located in block A12, B13, C31, or D33. The physician's signature is located in block A12, B13, C31, or D33.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say D.
Yeah, I say that too. I'm not sure.
Not D. Y'all close though. Not D.
C.
C31. So look, I hope you all are gonna be listening and going back through this, because I'm assisting you with giving you questions that will be on your final exam. So please make sure that you review your Zoom class, because and still I'm gonna be so upset if y'all get these answers wrong.
I'm still kicking myself in the butt for missing one question from the last exam.
So please review this. I'm giving you a heads up on what's going to be on your exam. So see, this also tells and shows me as to who's watching their Zoom class and who's not. So this is, all of this is being documented, like who's paying attention, who's really engaging. Now, I do know that everybody cannot participate in Zoom class because of people's work schedules and life and family situations with kids and all, but you can go back and watch this. This is why it's being recorded, for you to go back at your leisure to be able to watch this and get the information. Next question. We have like 5 more. Next question. The billing provider's NPI number is placed in block A31, B32, C33A, or D33B. The billing provider's NPI number is placed in block A31, B32, C33, or D33B. So this is showing you have to go back to that CMS form and look at what's in the CMS 1500, what is placed in what block. So the answer for that is 33A. So now we're going to go to chapter 6, because you got to remember, you had chapters 1, 2, and 3. Did you all have chapter 4 yet? Yeah, 3 and 4. So your exam is going to be on 5, 6, I know, and 18. So last one that we're going to cover now is chapter 16, which is your medical terminology. Chapter 6. You will have medical terminology on your final exam, which, like I'm stating, you all will have your book. Everything is open book. You have all of the resources to be able to get a good grade. No one should be failing their exams. So Alzheimer's disease is an example of A, prefix, B, word root, C, eponym, or D, decodable term? Alzheimer's disease is an example of A, prefix, B, word root, C, eponym, or D, decodable term. Not everybody together. So this means like you all have not been going over your medical terminology?
I have, but I can't ever remember Alzheimer's because I know I don't think it's a root word or I don't know.
It's not a prefix, it's the whole word. So it's eponym, C.
Okay.
Yes. So in the term hypodermic, the prefix is A, hypo, B, derm, C, dermal, or D, ic.
Hyper. Yeah.
Yes, hypo, correct, A. Oh, I'm scared to see what y'all gonna do on these medical terms. The prefix anti means A, before, B, after, behind, C, near, or D, against.
Against.
Right, correct, D. A patient who has a prenatal visit sees her practitioner for A, after the birth of her child, B, before the birth of her child, C, the time surrounding the birth of her child, or D, at the time of delivery.
Before.
B is correct, before the birth of her child. Next, neurology is a discipline that would most likely treat patients with disorders of the A, nerves, B, teeth, C, stomach, or D, joints.
Nerves.
Correct, nerves. Next, the study of disease is A, pathology, B, neonatology, C, obstetrics, or D, biology. The study of disease is A, pathology, D, neonatology, C, obstetrics, or D, biology.
Pathology.
Correct, pathology. Two more. Most medical terms are from which two languages? A, Spanish, English, B, English, Latin, C, English, Greek, or D, Greek, Latin?
Spanish, English.
No, not Spanish, English. Most medical terms are from which two languages?
English, Latin.
No. I'm gonna go over them again. A, we know it's not Spanish, English. B, we know it's not English, Latin. C, English, Greek, or D, Greek, Latin. Think about some of those medical terms. You know
Greek,
good and well. Which one is it?
Greek, Latin.
Yes. Think about some of those medical terms. You know good and well. It's not English. You know, I mean, Spanish. So yeah, it's Greek, Latin. This is a tricky one. Let's see if you are going to get this one right. The plural of vertebrae is A, vertebrae, B, vertebras, C, vertebrus, or D, vertebrae.
Vertebrae.
Correct. Tatiana clicked on enrolling, huh? Last one for the day. Let me get a good one. Which of the following disorders is an inflammation? Which of the following disorders is an inflammation? A, cardiomegaly, B, enteritis, C, ophthalmology, or D, arteriostenosis?
Is it C?
Were you saying ophthalmology?
Yeah.
Not ophthalmology.
Well, you know, it's not part of something. What was the, because that's dealing with the heart.
Right. So, right, you're breaking it down right. And then ology is what? Ophthalmology. So ology, that suffix means what? What is ology?
The study of
Right. So you know it's not that one.
itis.
Enteritis.
itis.
Itis
Yeah.
is what? Inflammation.
I was just expecting to say.
Yes. Enteritis. Itis is inflammation. So that's why it's like, if you don't know what that word means, it's always good to either know the prefix or the suffix, because most time that suffix, you'll know, like, just like ophthalmology, you know, ology is a study of. So that's what the study of the eyes. Arteriostenosis, what is this? Osis. And you know, with arteria, that's the veins, the arteries. Cardio, like you said, Tatiana, you know, that's the heart. So it's always good to know the prefix or that suffix. So you, even if you don't know the meaning of the word, you will know what it's about. So any questions for me in reference to assignments, labs? I don't understand. A lot of you all are not completing your labs. What is going on? You have 7 days to complete labs. So I should be getting plenty of text messages for those who are on and who are not on in reference to reopening labs. Like I stated, I am not just going in and reopen assignments. You need to communicate. Text me, call, email, letting me know you need your assignments or labs reopened. I'm not a mind reader. You have to stay in contact with me. So do we have any questions in reference to your exam?
How many questions on the test?
I can't hear you, Tatiana.
How many questions are on the exam?
50 questions.
50. Okay.
And I'm opening on Friday, and it will be open until Monday. Monday is your final exam.
Okay.
But remember, if you started on Friday, you have to complete it on Friday. You cannot start it and then go back.
I had missed, like yesterday I did my labs in the seminar, and I forgot to do my daily assignment. And I don't know if you could give me credit, but I did turn it in like 10 minutes before we started the Zoom. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, it's fine. See, and that's not
Okay.
a problem. I will not take points off if you know, like sending it, but please do not, I mean, points will be taken off if you're asking me to open day 1 and we're on day 14 or 15. But, you know, like just regular, like reopen, if you're 2 days behind, I don't take points off. If you submit the information, you ask me to reopen, I will reopen. But I don't think that it's fair if I'm reopening assignments from day 1 and we're on day 14 or 15 and you getting that same credit as someone who did the assignment on that day. Especially if you did not communicate with me explaining that something was going on, you were having difficulty with your computer, family matter, that's understandable. We all have things that come up. So if you're communicating with me and something come up, I'm not going to take points off. You know, but if you don't communicate with me and then on the last day of the module, like a lot of people do, and say, I need all of my assignments reopened, then that's a problem. Because now.
Well, you haven't been getting anything from me because.
But you talked, but you did communicate.
Yeah, this is the reason why.
Yeah, but I mean, see, that's a difference. You
I
were
have a bad
communicating,
1-year-old.
but you were
So I tried and I started a job. I started working now. You know my situation.
yes.
So I'm just trying to do a little improvement on a lot of stuff so I can get good results back this time. So I started working and I try to do as much as I can. Then dealing with her and my sister quit. So she quit school. So she came and bring me her Chromebook and I'm like, God is good because I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do with myself. And I'm like, oh well, if I fail, I'll just fail. I
No,
was really to that point where quitting. But everybody was like, I'm gonna help you buy one. I'm gonna help you buy one. You gotta finish. You gotta finish.
and
But she bought it to
quitting,
me.
remember, Travis, that quitting is never the answer. Because like I said,
No, it's not.
communication is key. That's like when you told me, I said, okay, you know, like get them in. I'm not going to take points off, get them in. But if you did not communicate, then that's where we have the problem. But you were communicating the whole time. So no, I'm not going to take points away because, you know, you were emailing.
No, I'm fine with like some of my labs is not completed, but I'm trying to get as much as I can. I'm fine if I get points taken. I just give me some. You got to give me 3 points. I'm okay with that because I did something. I'm just like right now, I'm in a bad stage of stress right now, and I'm trying to get out of it, but it's just it ain't moving.
Understood. And
but I'm pushing.
Remember that you all do get points for joining your Zoom class. So take those points that you get when you log on and you join Zoom class. You can receive extra points. Like I said, say you have a 65 and you know, we're on Zoom, those points, like those 5 points, depending on what we're doing, it might be 5 points, it might be 10 points. You can have those points assigned to an assignment or your lowest grade. So joining your Zoom class is very important because you do get extra points. Just like yesterday, for those of you who are on nailing the interview, you got extra points for that. And those extra points can be used for an assignment, for a lab, for your lowest grade. Whenever we have activities and you are involved and you join, just like we're going to be getting back to our NCCT prep classes, once we start back coding, every time you join those classes on Tuesday for 2 p.m., every time you join your Zoom class, every time we have an announcement when a guest speaker is involved, you receive points for that. Those points do add up and you can use them. Look, Ashley finally started using hers, you know, and she had so many, you know.
And I keep forgetting about NCT.
But we haven't had it for this because it's nothing to code, so we haven't had it. But for the next module, we'll be gearing back up with the NCCT prep class, you know, every Tuesday for 2 p.m. And I will be sending those reminders. And like I said, I stopped sending reminders that day before because even if I would send it that day before, people would forget. So I start sending it on the day of, when there has something going on that day of. It's in news and announcements, but then I'll send it that day of, like a few hours, sometime in the morning or a few hours before, so people can put it back on their radar.
So we're going back into.
I missed yesterday. I was like, when I logged in, I say, dang, I missed something. I said, what? I thought we do Zooms on Thursdays. And then I looked and seen what was going on, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I missed that one.
It was very informative, a lot of helpful tips. I think that she's going to record it and I'll be able to send it out to everyone. But it was a lot of helpful information with nailing the interview, things that you wouldn't think that, you know, people are paying attention to when you're doing an interview. And like I said, I enjoyed it myself. It was very, you know, very helpful. And just things on how to introduce yourself. And just like the main thing that I want you all to know, is that a lot of people don't realize, like she stated, when you get on there, when people say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. You don't have to say, oh, I'm married, I'm a single parent, I have 3 children, and this is, they didn't ask you anything about that. They said, tell me a little bit about yourself. They want to know your work skills, your background, work history. What have you done in the past that relates to what you're applying for? So, you know, remember, I'm going to, because let me tell you, when you go on there saying sometimes you have 3 kids or 4 kids, you know what they're thinking? Oh, well, she's going to be calling off. She's going to have to take them to the doctor's appointment. They're going to get sick. Or she's not going to have nobody to keep her children. Or she's not.
That's how I was at an interview. The job that I have now, that's what the lady told me. She said, you got a babysitter? I said, yeah, I have a babysitter. She said, I said, why you ask that? She said, because she did it. She said, tell me about yourself. Dummy me. I have 4 kids. I'm in school full time. And she said, you got a
You should have
babysitter?
been on that
You got
nail
time to do
interview,
schoolwork?
Keandre.
Well, I got the job already. Like I've been working for like 2 weeks now. But she was like, I love the way you just carried yourself and you was honest with me. You told me the truth. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. If you don't give me the job, I'm still fine because I'm not quitting school. So I just kept it real with her. She's like, okay. And every day since I've been working, when I'm off, she called, can you come in? No, ma'am. I cannot. I'm sorry. Because when I'm off, this is my catch-up time.
Right. So just remember, but still, you don't have to provide all of that information, because a lot of times you have to realize they're thinking, oh, she's not going to have a babysitter. Oh, she's not going to be able to work this shift because it's night, so take in consideration and remember those things. You don't have to volunteer, because those are things that they're not supposed to ask you in an interview. And a lot of people do not realize that. Because a lot of people, as soon as you say, oh, tell me a little about you. So first thing they say, I'm a single parent. They don't care. They're not worried about if you're a single parent or not. They
just want to know what you have as experience-wise.
Right. They want to know about your experience, your work history, have what skills you have that can help in this job opportunity that you're applying for. Later on down the line, once you get the job, and then you could talk about that stuff, but you don't volunteer that information because they don't need to know that. So just, she said that she was going to record it. I can't remember. And then once she gets that to me, I will be sharing that with you because it's very, very helpful information. Any questions about assignments or something you didn't understand? This is the time for us to discuss it. This is a time for us to review it.
Okay.
Yes.
I know I'm not crazy, but I could have sworn that we did an assignment as a lab and then you did it as an assignment.
Could have, yes.
Okay.
I've done that before. And it's
so
just
as long as I'm not so I'm not going crazy. Cool.
Yeah, and the reason
the critical thinking question, because I was looking at that. I said, yeah, I think that's what that is. I think you had to sit up a little bit. I was like, I think I just did this. But I see that I feel like you just wanted us to reword it into a different form of what it was.
Right. And the thing is, sometimes I do that to see if you're paying attention, because let me tell you, I have done that several times and people gave me totally 2 different answers that didn't even match with the question.
Yeah.
So, and I'm so glad you mentioned it, because let me say this. I want you all to know, I've said this before, I do read the answers. I do, Misty's shaking her head. Yeah, I do read the answers. So if you look at a lot of things, sometimes you might have 50 out of 60 or 54 out of 60 or whatever. It's because something is not correct. You might have part of it right, but I do read the answers. And I've been having people who are posting the same answers in several assignments. And like I said, I don't single out anyone. I'm talking to all of you, to everybody. Please do not keep posting the same answers for every lab. I do read them. Even though I have 5 classes, I do take the time. I know some of you might see that I might be responding at 11 o'clock at night on emails and sending stuff out. That's not for you to call me, but I'm still working sometimes. And I do read your answers. So please be mindful of what you're posting. Please, I had somebody to post the same answers almost in every lab. And I'm like, wow, this is interesting.
It's just like they don't even match the lab. Is that what you mean?
It doesn't match the lab. It's just the same answers. You're posting the same answers for everything.
Okay.
Like instead of them reading it, they're not reading it. They're just
putting
posting
something in because I'm saying you all as a whole think that I'm not reading. You think I'm not reading your answers? How you think I saw so many people had that answer wrong about the Medicare Part B and the answers they put? And I'm like, what? Medicare Part B does cover specialty procedures. And the copayment would be 20% with Medicare.
I think that's the only thing I didn't put.
And so you got points taken off, huh, Misty?
Yes.
I'm just saying, I do read the answers. So, you know, and if I ask 2 questions and you only answer 1, you only gonna get half of the credit.
Yes.
Because I mean, that's the whole thing of paying attention and reading the questions and answer. This part, the last section that we went through in chapter 18, that's all of you all, billing and coding. You have to know Medicare Part A, B, C, and D. That's something you will have to know throughout your career. And then when the changes take place, you will have to know that information. So please read your PowerPoint slides, because like I said, even though in the chapters, the PowerPoint slides break it down for you, so you get a better understanding. But read that information. They tell you, they have the charts, they have everything you would need to know in your book and your PowerPoint
To me,
slides.
it seems like the PowerPoints, I can't really grasp them. I do better with just reading the information.
Some do. And some people swear by the PowerPoint slides. You know, it depends. It depends on how, you know, everybody have different learning styles on, you know, how they learn. Some people are visual learners. You know, some people, they have to learn, you know, they're visual, they have to listen, they have to touch. I mean, so we have different learning styles, you know, all with, you know, what works for you. But please, please read your questions. If it's 2 questions, answer. If it's 1 answer, please put the correct answers. I know sometimes every answer is not going to be correct, but please don't just copy and paste, thinking that I'm not going to review what you're posting. I want you to have the correct information. You know, I want you to be able to pass your NCCT certification exam. It's 2 parts, your medical office assistant and your national certification billing and coding. I want you all to pass so that you can land that job that you're in school for. You know, like I keep saying, this is a very lucrative job. If you are looking on Indeed, if you are looking at the job leads, medical billing and coding is needed. So many places are hiring. They want, you know, coders, they have entry-level positions. And for you all, if you're looking, Humana is hiring big time. I mean, United Healthcare, they're hiring. So just make sure that you
I tried putting my app in for Humana, but that might have been right before I started doing this.
Yeah, so look at it. They have so many opportunities, and they have a lot of you know, positions wherever it's remote for entry level. You know, customer service support is just something like medical office assistant. If you want to just get your foot in the door and just to have that opportunity, you know, before you actually get into medical billing and coding, just to get just a little feel for what you will be doing.
Right.
So, you know, just make sure you're reading your chapters, reading the information, because the stuff that we're doing now, and like I said, starting on Tuesday, we're going to be doing strictly billing and coding. Everything is going to be coding. Those big thick manuals, your ICD-10, your CPT manual, we're going to be deep into it. So make sure that you code your books. Triandre, did you ever label? Did you ever put your tags in your books?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You need it?
Next module.
Oh, my book been labeled.
Okay.
That's what I was about to ask you, because that's what I started in 152. I started on chapter 7 in 152.
Okay, you're almost done. You're about to graduate soon. So make sure that you label and tab your books. I will also put for my new students, I will put a video on tabbing your manual there. So look forward to that in the next module, which starts on Tuesday. So if we don't have any other questions, Nobody don't want to talk to me today. I understand. It's okay. So please just feel free. 8 o'clock is my deadline. Do not text me after 8. 8:01, I will not answer. Saturday, I will not answer at all. Sunday, I will not answer. I will respond by Monday via email, or I'll call you. I don't have a problem with calling anyone. So please remember to just stay in contact. Let me know, email me, text, give me a call. If you need assignments reopened, I don't have a problem with reopening assignments, but I will not reopen on Monday telling me to go back and open all your assignments from day one. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's not happening. So please start letting me know now if you need things, if you need assignments reopened. I will definitely reopen them for you. So if we don't have any other questions, concerns, comments, you all have a wonderful and safe rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and I will open your exams on tomorrow. Enjoy. Bye-bye.